Hey everyone, welcome back to Popular Preparedness. Today I'd like to go over a little bit of the results of the polls actually that you recently took as a community. If you saw this last poll and said, gee, that looks awfully familiar, it should have, because I put up the same exact poll a month before. I thought it might be interesting just to see how the ebb and flow of people's thinking kind of went. So a month ago, I posted, what is your most urgent prep for the fall? This month, I posted, what is the your most urgent prep for the winter? Now, naturally, as I say fall or winter, we're going to be seeing a bit of push towards one of these options, but let me throw them up on the screen here for you. All right, so here we are. On the top is the poll that was just taken yesterday and today. And on the bottom is the poll that was taken a month ago. So there were about 130 more votes on the new poll than there was on the prior poll. So welcome all you new folks who have just jumped on board since. Some of you aren't subscribers and you just kind of stumbled across the poll and voted. Always appreciate you guys too. If you're watching the video, then you're sticking around, I guess. So a lot of folks may be feeling like, hey, I'm new around here, but don't worry. This channel's really only been going for about 2 months. I believe August 21st or 22nd was when I started posting every day, somewhere thereabouts. So we're looking at this channel's really been going strong for about 2 months. Before that, they were like 30 or so subscribers. So I'm still learning the game. But so hopefully this poll is going to kind of give you some insights. Let's take a look at it. So remember back about a month ago, everyone was really focused on the protein shortage particularly. That was what was really in the news cycles. Now, I'd say recently the energy crisis has been more in the news cycle. And what I want you to kind of see from this is how things really haven't changed. We've just gone forward in time about a month. A month ago, everyone knew the winter was coming up, right? But look at how big of a shift there is between up at the top, the protein stock up, to fuel for heating has shifted. So again, the bottom is a month ago. The top is this month. We went from 41% protein down to 25% protein, but then fuel for heating amped up real fast. Hopefully, we as preppers and people who are into preparation, we're not caught off guard by the approach of winter, because it's like literally on the calendar, right? So I'm going to attribute that more to the hype in the news media. And now, when I say news media, I might mean prepper channels on YouTube, okay? That's where, if you're like me, that's where I get a lot of my information from. I get information from that, and the only real news site that I really read is Zero Hedge, or as folks like to refer to it as The Hedge. That's zerohedge.com if you want to look it up. They break stuff really fast, and they always cover things from a libertarian perspective, which I appreciate. And they always are very skeptical about everything. So sometimes they're a little dark, but they don't get too conspiratorially. So if you're interested in those guys. Two other ones here that I'd like to point out that we need to be emphasizing in. Garden preparation. All the food in the world doesn't help you if you can't replenish your food supply. If the grid goes down, you are going to need your garden going all out. And I, like many other folks here on YouTube, agree that garden preparation is really sorely lacking. Then finally, down at the bottom there, community building. We went from an abysmal 7% down to a much more abysmal 4%. And this is near and dear to my heart and is a horse that I will continue beating. So let me switch back over to us here. So community building really fell down a good bit there too. Community building is going to be really, really important. Now, I know a lot of other channels really talk a lot about MAG groups or mutual assistance groups, where you basically partner up with other preppers to kind of help each other through the tough times that are going to be coming. I take a little bit different of a tact on that, and I'd say it's not just other preppers you should be working with and building community with, but I think it's really, really important to be building community with the folks that are in your immediate vicinity, your neighbors, your local government, and the movers and shakers in the area around you. And I'm going to also include in this your local church. If you're a person of faith, that applies to you. If you're not a person of faith, maybe it still applies to you. You can check that out and see if that's something that you might want to think about. But a church, most fundamentally, is people journeying together in life and trying to help each other out. Now, that's all focused around worshiping God and seeking to become more like Christ in a church, or if it's another religion, other goals of usually becoming a better person or something along those lines. My point there isn't for everyone to become Christians, which, is recommended. If you go to a store and it says, recommended, some of you may just walk in and not take the recommendation, and you're free not to take my recommendation either, of course. But all that to say, your local community, the local people who most of them probably aren't preppers. The simple fact is that if a grid goes down or if the Shtf happens, you're going to have to deal with these people, okay? And for them to just be treating you like, that old hermit or that or that young hermit or that group up in the hills or that group over there on that street over there, if they don't know who you are, there's a good chance you're going to become the enemy. Whereas if you are more integrated into society, they at least know who you are. And you'll have people who hopefully will stand up for you because they know you're a good person, they know you're good people, and especially if you even try to help out. When people are like, yeah, let's go raid those people's houses, they're going to get more pushback from even people in their group, people in your community. And that's the way it should be. We should be shoring up the community, just as we've tried to shore up the country of the United States if you're here or if you're in Canada. Hopefully you've been trying to vote in such a way and be engaged in politics in such a way that you're trying to be of some good to help the greater community, because you realize that you live in that greater community. So now as things start shrinking, as your area of focus must shrink to a much lower, smaller area, my point is it shouldn't just immediately shrink all the way down to just you and yours. You should be aware of what's going on around you, and you need to have relationships in that community. Whether that's through your church, through local political, folks, or generally when you talk about politics, people who are involved and invested in your community and are the movers and shakers, they will be at least somewhat involved in politics. All right, so that's part of the reason why I say that. Not necessarily saying you have to get all political, but if you're at least loosely involved, you'll meet these people and they'll get to know you a little bit, and then it won't be some kind of shock to the system when they meet you the first time once everything goes south. So obviously, yes, we need to be preparing for winter, and yes, it is almost upon us. It started to get cold. A lot of you folks are maybe having a cold day today, and heating is going to be essential for that. Food is going to be essential. But spring is coming, of course, And if you need to get some final garden things done before winter sets in, everything you can get done now is going to save you time in the spring. And you know how busy and crazy that's going to be. So I got more of my yard to rip up to expand my gardens. That's very top of my list. It doesn't feel pressing, but I know it is. And community building. More connections. Make more connections with people. Get to know some people's names. Get them to know your name. Give them some reasons to know your name. And meet more neighbors as best you can. And part of the reason why I say something like a church is because if you go into a collapse of society and you don't have a purpose in life other than survival, we're not designed for that. We're designed to have a purpose and to be helping other people and to be involved in a community. At church, if you think about, how can I help these people? Or whatever that looks like. I don't know. You have a card playing group, that you play poker with on Friday nights or something like that, or other hunters that you know. Whatever that community is, be thinking, it is my recommendation to have people that you're going to try to look out for. If you have a mag and it's tight-knit and you're going to watch out for those people, all right. For those of you who don't have a tight-knit mag and it's not big enough, you need to find people that you're going to try to help through what is to come. If you don't, I think you'll lose purpose. You see this in other countries. People who don't have attachments don't usually make it. They're the people that either commit suicide, or they do something rash, or they lose hope along the way, lose direction. We are made to be community people. That's my point. And I think that is very, very critical. I'd like to talk about that a little bit more in the future here, but that's all I'll hit you with there. Hopefully that was helpful, seeing what other people were thinking. I know some of you are like, don't ever put anything up on YouTube. Don't give any information out. And this isn't, I can't see any of this information. Maybe YouTube can or whatever. They already know who you are because they're Google. But, do your best to stay anonymous as best you can. But something like this, I think, is really helpful for you to see what the priorities of the people around you. And my main takeaway of this I hope if you take nothing else away from this, is that I think we're often driven around by whatever's fashionable in the prepper and preparedness communities, whatever people are all harking about. Sometimes we need to be ahead of the preparedness community. We talk about being ahead of the main community, the public at large, but sometimes maybe we need to be a little more ahead of the preparedness community, thinking a little longer term than just what all the preparedness folks are talking about this week or this month. So, just because it's good stuff doesn't mean that we can't sometimes be subject to a little bit of groupthink as well, okay? To watch a video about how to cook when you don't have any power, click up here. It's a great video for just walking through all the different options of cooking with propane and other alcohol, and just great stuff. So if you go ahead and click on that, that's another great one for you. I'll see you guys later.